mostly an NYU based like college admission series, and that's what probably a lot of you are really interested in. And so I totally get that. Feel free to just skip this, but I thought it might be cool to look at all of the schools that I applied slash auditioned for and kind of go through them of hardest to easiest on the auditions, just to give you kind of an idea of the whole process. So as far as my short list, so these were the schools that I actually applied for, actually auditioned for. That was Oklahoma City University, University of Northern Colorado, AMDA, which is the American Academy. It's in New York and LA. You can look it up. Marymount Manhattan College, the New School, New York University, Pace, and Denver University. So, before I work through them from hardest to easiest, there's two kind of special occasion ones that I want to talk about. So for the New School, I ended up calling them and canceling my audition because I had already gotten into New York University and I knew that I was accepting there and going there. However, I will say that they were going to do a Skype audition, which I think is so cool because traveling to New York for all of these auditions can be quite the adventure. So didn't get to audition for the New School, but I did tour them. Interesting program, a little bit different. They actually start you at AMDA, which is that other school, and this is again as of when I toured, so a couple years ago, at AMDA for 2 years, and then you come to the New School. So it's interesting because you kind of get more interaction with more, people. I don't know, institutions. And then the second one is University of Denver. So I ended up auditioning here like 2 days after I got into NYU. It was too late to cancel the audition, and also my mom at the time was a career and college counselor and she was just curious about the school, so we kind of went, and I wasn't nervous at all, so I don't want to rank this one because it was super easy. I like went in and I belted my face off, but I had already gotten into NYU, so there was no pressure at all. What was really nice is they let you in the room with the pianist to run all of your songs and such before the evaluators would step in, which I just loved. That was really nice to get to run through that. So now, hardest to easiest. So at number 6 is Marymount. So Marymount Manhattan College, it's in Manhattan. This was a college that one of my friends was at, and I've heard such positive things. I was super excited to audition for them, but I found, and this is just my experience, this does not define the entire school. Other people could have totally amazing experiences, so please, everything with a nice pinch of salt, people. But I got there and they sat us in a room for half an hour because there was only one dance instructor, and they broke us into 3 groups. So she was teaching group 1 the dance and running it and did it with them, then taught it to group 2. They did it. Meanwhile, group 1 had been released for lunch. Group 2 goes. By the time she gets to us, they're like, we're already over when we're supposed to have gone to lunch. And so she teaches the combo in like 10 minutes, and then we get evaluated and we go to lunch and we don't even have our full lunch before our audition. So that was crazy. And then the audition is masterclass style, so you all watch each other audition and you watch each person's monologue, but the instructor slash evaluator in the room didn't offer any feedback. And I found it very uncomfy the whole time. It felt like they were saying, you need us, we don't need you, which may be true, but I still want my school to be open and trying to create a safe environment. And it wasn't that it didn't feel safe, but it just didn't feel welcoming. So for me, Marymount was a, definitely not. Next was Pace. Pace was at 2 p.m. I went to New York to do it. Same with Marymount, did it in New York. The room that they did the dance audition in was a little bit cramped. There were tons of people and it was pretty squished. And we did learn the combo relatively quickly, but the instructor was really great about offering individual critiques and seeing each of us. You very much felt that each individual was being seen. They did ask the parents to stay for the majority of the day, which was sort of odd. Normally it's a drop and leave kind of situation, so that was a little strange. And then for me, what I didn't enjoy was in my monologue audition, I decided to use the Beckett piece from Happy Days, which again, big bold choice. I made it, I did it. But they said, I can clearly tell that you are an incredible actor. You should never do that monologue again. That's what they said to me. And it was basically because they were like, you are this like young female, you should be doing these types, which I didn't love, because if you could see that I clearly could act, wasn't that the point of the audition? Wasn't that what the monologue was supposed to serve? So I don't know. For me, that was a little weird. Next up, Oklahoma City University. I loved this audition. It was so fun. This is definitely not the right school for me, but it was a blast. So we flew out to Oklahoma, and this one, I would say if you're doing Oklahoma, wear makeup. I know, like, you don't have to. I didn't, but wow, did I feel underdressed and under made up. We can talk about hair and makeup if you're interested in that. Leave me some comments. That's cool. I can do that. But at this one particular school, I was like, oh, it just felt like everyone was quite polished. But arrived, and they had practice rooms, real actual practice rooms for you to warm up in. You could take as much time as you wanted. If you weren't ready and it was your audition time, they were like, keep going, keep practicing, whatever. It was lovely. It ran really smoothly, and they had a lovely info session beforehand to talk to everyone. It was so wonderful. You just felt really supported, really taken care of, and it was a beautiful facility and program. You could just tell there was such a heart there. That school wasn't right for me because Oklahoma is Oklahoma, which is awesome, but they only have certain opportunities available, which I think New York provides what I needed and was looking for. Number 3 is UNC, University of Northern Colorado. This one was super easy. It was nice to have an in-state one. We drove up. I got to warm up at home. They gave us a practice room, individually assigned practice rooms for the day. The only thing I didn't love here was the waiting room right before you auditioned was very cramped. Lots of people, which just kind of bred nerves. But it was great. You got there. They were running super ahead of schedule, so if you are going there, get there early. With all your auditions, get there early. But went in, song, monologue, out the door. That was it. It was so simple. 2 was AMDA, and AMDA came to me. They were in Denver, which was lovely. I got to drive up and audition at a hotel. They allowed each of us to practice our pieces with the pianist, which again I just think is so lovely and so caring. There was a short interview portion, and then you were on your way, and it just seemed like a very, I don't know, a very industry-focused, skill-based, competitive, but in the most positive way school. It felt like that was really exciting, but they are a conservatory-only program, so they're only, I believe, 2 years, so that was a little different. And then number 1, and I swear it's not just because I went here, but my easiest audition by far was NYU, which we're so close to talking about. I'm gonna leave it. We're just gonna do, my next video is gonna be a terms and like vocab of the college audition world, just to give you some of the jargon, and then I'm gonna go through and talk about my NYU audition day, the whole experience. So click through and I will see you there, okay? Best.